Alright, today we're focusing on short serves, specifically the forehand short serve. You need the forehand short serve to set up the strengths of your backhand from the baseline. Let's start with spin. The reason your sidespin backspin serve isn't spinning is a lack of solid backspin fundamentals. For shakehand players, a common mistake is not raising the thumb. This restricts acceleration from the web of your hand. You rest your thumb sideways on the rubber. But I keep mine upright. With your grip, there's no way you can generate power from your webbing. So, the first step is to adjust your grip. For shakehand, raise your thumb slightly and support the racket with your back 3 fingers. Curl your pinky, this grip change is essential. A tight grip slows your rotation. Raising the thumb allows the web of your hand to rotate faster, which increases spin. The principle is simple, a relaxed grip allows for a more concentrated, explosive force, letting you really bite the ball. Second, the key to a spinny backspin serve is to point the butt of the racket toward yourself before the backswing. Then open up your wrist during the backswing, pointing the racket head to the side before snapping forward. Once the motion is complete, the butt of the racket should point to your back right. To generate heavy spin, the real friction happens in a single, explosive moment. Ready position, the butt of the racket points at you. As you toss, open your wrist so it points to your left shoulder. Contact the ball with an explosive snap for friction. And finish with the butt pointing to your right shoulder. That's the rotational friction you need. Watch this demo: proper grip, toss, and brush. Toss, open the wrist, brush the ball. This is the fundamental of backspin friction. Your goal is to practice brushing the ball to create spin, not just pushing it forward. Pushing forward means you didn't create friction. Making the ball come back means you did. You must practice until the ball bounces back towards the net. Many players can't do this, so drill it. This applies to sidespin backspin too. The issue is a lack of explosive, snap friction, which makes your spin impure and weak. Remember, to generate spin, you must use your fingers and wrist. If you use your forearm, the spin dies. It all happens at the moment of contact. Use your wrist to brush and bite the ball. The range of motion for this friction is small, it's all about that explosive snap. Amateurs serve long too often, so they lose control and can't add spin to short serves because they haven't mastered this snap. The friction and snap for a short serve are identical to that of a long serve. Remember the wrist snap? The first part of the snap creates the backspin. The second part sends the ball forward. Together, they make the serve long and spinny. The problem for amateurs is, if you want spin, it's slow. If you want speed, there's no spin. Proper spin generation starts with the first part of the snap, which produces a short, spinny ball. Master brushing the ball so it's loaded with spin. From that foundation, you add the second part of the snap. The first snap is for spin. The second snap is to add speed. Combine them for a long, fast, and spinny serve. Right now, you're lacking the fundamentals of serving. Your initial friction isn't generating enough spin because you can't bite the ball. You must practice this. Secure your grip, open your wrist, and then use your wrist to create friction. The motion is very compact. Drill short backspin and sidespin serves like this. This is how you feel the ball gripping the rubber. If you only practice long serves, you'll never develop a good feel for friction. The first part of the snap is for one thing, to grip the ball with maximum friction. The second part of the snap is to propel the ball forward with speed. The full motion is a two-part snap. If your serve is just one simple, linear motion, you will never generate heavy spin. All great serves come from an extremely flexible wrist. It's the same for the hook serve. If it's fast but not spinny, it's because you're applying force through the whole motion. We use a two-step process. First, create friction for a short ball, then push it long. Generate the spin, then add the speed. That's how you get a deceptive, heavy serve. To make a long serve spinny, you must first create friction and then add a follow-through to give it both heavy spin and high speed. A single action motion results in either speed without spin, or spin without speed. The principle of a good serve is always to generate maximum friction first, then apply forward momentum. Notice the change in my racket head angle. If my racket head goes from back to front, the ball comes back. It's an extreme spin. The path is point back, point front, then point at the opponent. This serve is loaded with an incredible amount of spin. Amateur serves lack spin because the racket face angle never changes. It starts facing down and it finishes facing down. Let me demonstrate a typical amateur serve. The problem is that the forearm is not opened up. It's like hitting a shot by just pushing your elbow. If the forearm doesn't open, you can't generate high speed. This applies to all serves: side spin, backspin, fast serves, and hook serves. Your forearm needs to load up, just like crouching for a standing long jump. If you just jump straight up, you won't go far. So, you must open your forearm and wrist. As you toss the ball, this creates the potential for friction. Same for a backspin serve. First, I open my arm and wrist to brush the ball. Otherwise, you're just pushing it. You're just pushing because your racket head angle doesn't change from start to finish. Only by creating a change in the racket head's angle can you produce spin. And that's just the first step. The faster I snap or flick my wrist, the more spin I generate. If your racket angle is static and you just push faster, it's useless. The serve will have no spin. You'll get speed, but the rotation isn't there. A non-spinning ball flies true, and any opponent with basic brushing skills can return it. A very spinny ball dives quickly, forcing errors if they mistime their shot or have a slow stroke. So, the key point is this: first, get your racket head rotating. For both side spin and backspin. This applies to hook serves as well. The rotation of your racket head is the first step to creating friction. The faster the racket head rotates, the spinnier the ball. Slower rotation means no spin. Speed is easy to add, the main problem is a lack of friction. To practice friction, do not start with long serves. Start with short serves to master spin generation, for every type of serve. The essence of all friction is concentrating the brush on the ball. A scattered contact creates no spin. A focused, sharp contact creates heavy spin. How do we achieve this focused spin? With an explosive snap. A true snap must have rapid acceleration followed by an abrupt stop. A slow motion won't work. It has to be fast. And you must stop the motion instantly. That's what creates explosive power. Let's try a drill. Rotate your hand back and forth. Open your wrist, snap it forward, then point at the opponent. Do 5 reps with your wrist. Then 5 with your fingers. You'll see which is faster. Of course, the fingers are faster. The ball is only on your racket for an instant. Using your wrist is like driving at 50 miles per hour. Using your fingers is like accelerating to 70 miles per hour. The key to friction is to accelerate without muscling the ball. You need speed, not brute force. In terms of pure strength, your fingers can't beat your wrist. But for creating friction, I need racket head speed. Accelerate without force. In terms of pure speed, fingers are always faster than the wrist. So, your serve isn't spinning because you're likely using your wrist at best, or even just your forearm. Are you truly using your fingers and wrist? Some players even use their upper arm. Using your upper arm can generate a fast, heavy ball, but it will never have heavy spin. Any opponent with a decent loop will have no trouble with it. You need to figure out how to use your fingers to make the racket face rotate as fast as possible. That's the secret to heavy spin. Think of it like this: your upper arm is a truck, your forearm is a van, your wrist is a car, but your fingers are the sports car. Don't use your fingers for power. Use your fingers for speed. After accelerating with the fingers in the first part of the snap, use your forearm for the follow-through. Combine these two actions. Don't try to get spin and speed from a single, unified motion. Assign roles. Fingers accelerate to maximize friction. The forearm pushes through to maximize speed. Spin plus speed equals a great serve. After generating friction with your fingers, you also need to break the motion, a sudden stop. How do you achieve this sudden stop? Once you start using your fingers for friction, the breaking action will happen naturally. The range of motion of your fingers is limited. This limited space naturally creates a stopping point. The wrist, forearm, and upper arm have much larger ranges of motion. So using your fingers automatically builds in the braking mechanism. After your fingers have done their job of accelerating and braking, the arm provides the power for the follow-through. When you learn to use your fingers, that's when you truly begin to master friction. If you're my student and want a great serve, you must listen to me. My biggest strength has always been my serve, and I was considered to have one of the best serves among female players. You have to learn this from me. I have successfully taught many amateur players to develop an excellent serve. All successful players have one thing in common: belief. Believe you can do it, and then practice at least 50,000 serves following my steps. There are no shortcuts. You can't just listen to one tip and expect to improve dramatically. That's impossible. The real shortcut is an efficient training method. If you diligently follow my instructions, you will improve quickly. The real way to leap ahead is through proper methodology, not a single magic sentence. Table tennis is fair. If you put in the work, you will get the results.